May it be a good morning. May it be a good day for Klal Yisrael. We should hear Besoros Tovos and sweeping victory. We continue Mesillas. Yesharim, please help yourself to coffee and donuts. Our 10 minutes of meaning. Continuing to tap into the Ramchal Rav Moshe Chaim Lutzato's Mesillas Yesharim, his formula and pathway towards a better version of ourselves. We've begun the 24th chapter, the 24th parak, that deals with the notion of yira, living with a healthy dose of fear and awe. Not just living life with the geschmack, with the wonderful joy of being a Jew, of which there is so much, but also, though much less popular, but equally or arguably more important, a healthy dose and understanding of awe, of fear. This is Hashem's world. He is the King of Kings. To surrender, to submit to Him, to recognize that He is in charge and He is in control, and we are not. We spoke last time, Rav Hutner's distinction between what he called koach hahilul and koach hachilul. The difference between looking at a world where you see Hashem everywhere and we're in awe of Him, versus living in a world in which you say, I'm not impressed. Nothing's awe-worthy, nothing's awesome, nothing is goosebump-inducing. We're struggling, a Malek's attitude of, koach hachilul, you're machalal, everything is mundane and profane, nothing is sacred, nothing is sanctified, nothing is the hand of Hashem. We need to reinstate and reinstall, we need to work on a healthy dose of yira, to see the hand of Hashem everywhere, to realize He's in charge and He's in control. And tragically, we're suffering through that now, as we so desperately turn to Him, surrender to Him, and realize, Avinu Shebashamayim, our Father in heaven, we need You. We need You. We need You to interfere. We need You to protect. We need You to empower. We need You to intervene. We need You, because You're in charge. You're in control. I heard of Avram Shor Shlita, quote, in the time of David HaMelech, there was a plague, 100 Jews were dying a day. And David HaMelech's response was to institute Mea Brachas B'chol Yom, to recite 100 brachas a day. And that was the response, that was the antidote, and the 100 people stopped dying. And David HaMelech connected it with the pasuk, Ma Hashem Elokech Hashem Me'imach, what does God ask of you? Al Tikrei Ma, don't ask Ma, Ela Mea, 100 times a day make a bracha. We're well on our way after the 3 Shemona Esreis, we say, a few Asher Yatzos, Shahakal on the coffee, and Mazonos on the cookies. You're well on your way to the 100 brachas a day. How does that work? 100 people were dying, so 100 brachas, that is a skula, just a skula, that's how it works. So he suggested the 100 people were dying a day for whatever reason. We don't understand the ways of Hashem, but He was revealing His power in this world. He was revealing His control in this world, how ultimately helpless we are, how impotent we are, how mere mortal, how fragile we are. And the world was meant to respond and react with a sense of yira, a fear, to be gripped with a fear and an awe of just how little control we have, of how much could go wrong, of how vulnerable we are to enemies, to nature, and to this world. The Mea Brachas B'chol Yom are our attempt to say, Hashem, I don't need You to flex. I don't need You to show Your strength in order to have fear. I'm saying 100 brachas a day. I have yira of You, so please don't feel a need and stop demonstrating so that I feel yira. I feel the yira. I'm making 100 brachas a day. Perhaps that's part of a formula and description addition to our courageous, brave, outstanding, incredible IDF, unparalleled army in the world and the work that they're doing. Our work is to make Mea Brachos B'chol Yom B'kavan. Hashem, I have yira. I don't need You to demonstrate how fragile and how mere mortal and how powerful You are. I'm making 100 times a day. I'm telling You, Hashem, You're in charge. You're in control. I surrender. I submit. You've got this. I have yira. You don't need to teach us yira through these horrific world events. That's yira. So the Ramchal, and this is very difficult. That's why it's towards the end of the book. You have to make your way or grow in the other areas first, but to really live with that mindfulness and that presence and that awareness, to really live with that healthy awe and yira, to live that Hashem, this is Your world. I take my initiative and I do my best and I do my most, but afterwards and in the end of the day, You're in charge. You see it right now on the border of Gaza. You see it in the north. Our soldiers, who've now been waiting for a very long time, but they're constantly breaking into singing Mishama Amin Lo Mifached, their Amunah. There are hundreds of thousands of tzitzis distributed and tefillin being worn and leaning in. Hashem, we got it. We have military superiority. We've got weapons. We've got bravery and courage and strength, but ultimately it's You. Ultimately it's You. That's our real formula for success, is combining our initiative ultimately with the admission and the concession that you're in charge, that yira. So if there was ever a time for all of us to work on yira, those on the front line are demonstrating it, and we who are behind them, we the reinforcements, we who are pushing their back up the hill, we also have to demonstrate Hashem yira. It is also about letter writing and rallying and advocacy and flag waving and calling out and making everyone we know stop subscribing to any news outlet that could be an accomplice to terrorism by promoting headlines, even if they later walk them back that were irresponsible and not real journalism. There's a lot of work to do, a lot of initiative to take, but with it has to be growing in yira, our fear, our awe, our recognition, our conversation with Hashem. The Ramchal says there are two types of yira. There's fear and awe of chet. Hashem, don't punish me. Hashem, I'm scared of you. Hashem, don't hold me accountable. And then there's something much higher, much greater, which is yiras haromamus. I'm not afraid of you. It's not the punishment and consequence that I fear. It's that I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe. I see you, I see your world, and I'm filled with goosebumps. I'm in absolute awe. Ki inyanahu sheya'adam yari v'doig tamid ha'masa pen esar b'em eza shemetz chet. But it's the combination of the two. We have to have a yira, which is his greatness, but a yira that's you're amazing, you're great, you're all powerful, you're omnipotent, you're infinite, you're almighty. Now kumbaya doesn't work. It has to be all of those things, and therefore I realize I'm accountable to you. There are consequences to my actions. I believe I have emunah in chet, that there is such a thing as missed opportunities and mistakes and indiscretions and violations, and that I have to meet your expectations. And if I don't, I'm accountable. And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of that. The common denominator and theme of the two, both the fear of Hashem, of consequence, and the awe of Hashem, his greatness, are both about not wanting to disappoint Hashem. No, he's our Father in heaven. He's the all-powerful. He's our boss. You don't want to disappoint the one you look up to and admire, the one you're in awe of. The difference between the two, however, is that yiras haromus, this notion of the awe of Hashem, his greatness, comes in the moment of the performance of a deed, of an action, or while you're worshiping, serving Hashem, or while you're violating something, when you're davening. Person should shake. You see headlines. You think about what's happening. You understand what's on the line. You shake and you realize it's his world. How hard we try, how much initiative we have to take, but how ultimately we surrender. And we shake and we shudder. Or when we make a mistake, an indiscretion, when we understand the consequence of what we've done. There are people who've made mistakes. They seem irreparable. Of course, tshuva is always an option. But people who violated faithfulness in relationships, people who were irresponsible in their actions that had real consequences and injuring others, and there's a reality check of just what a person's done. And that's the reality check we have with the chet klapi shmaya towards Hashem. So that's yiras haromus. He's amazing, he's great, he's exalted. And when I disappoint him, when I come up short, when I fail him, wow, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my relationship with him? We'll pick up next time with what's yiras chet, if that's yiras haromus. But Chevra, this is a time for all of us to work on yira. To say, Hashem, we've learned, we've seen, we know you're in charge and in control, we don't understand your ways. So please, we have yira. We are reacting, responding. Part of the way we're processing everything that's happening is understanding that you're in control and we surrender to you. We have yira. So we're going to make me'ah brachas b'chol yom. We're going to lean into emunah and bitachon. We don't need you to flex and show it anymore. We see and we believe. And now, love us like a father loves his children. You should hear only besoros tovos, Yeshuas v'nachamos today.